fired up.
4th down and goal from the 9. 17 seconds to go. The play clock at 3. Shotgun snap. Carr throws into traffic. Intercepted. Jermaine Pratt has the football.
Yeah.
Coffin nails.
Bam, bam, bam. How about that? It ends on a turnover.
Joe Burrow takes the snap. He takes a knee. And after 31 years, the drought is over. It is no fluke. It is a fact. The Cincinnati Bengals are headed to Super Bowl 56.
Welcome back. Once again, in this part of the punctuation, I'm your host, Aaron Smith, joined as always by my sidekicks, the self-proclaimed best producer in the city, Ed Mayhall, and Jeff Howell. Gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Jeff, you're on vacation, so we do appreciate you. We do appreciate you after your 5-week vacation from the show for making time for us on your vacation.
You know, I try.
I
do have a question though. When you go somewhere, be it your parents' house, your cousin's house, if you're making spaghetti, do you use a spaghetti fork? Like when spaghetti, it's like a spaghetti spoon.
Oh yeah.
Pasta,
yeah. You're supposed to use those.
Like this deal, right?
Yeah.
This
claw.
place,
spaghetti claw.
For as awesome as this place is, doesn't have one.
No spaghetti claw. I didn't know you had to bring your own spaghetti claw to your Airbnb.
I didn't know that either. Apparently, it's going to be something I need to start packing.
I mean,
You should send a message to the Airbnb person.
I've also never made spaghetti at an Airbnb, but
One time we had Airbnb.
The kids are here. The wife is here. Like we're doing the full court press here on this one, and so like dinners were planned out in advance. This is spaghetti night.
Look, I have not gone on a vacation as a parent or as a bonus dad.
Yeah.
So
yeah, bet. Yep.
There are things that will change in my life, but it's these.
I've got a whole tip book.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
It makes things a lot easier.
The greatest day of your vacationing time is when you don't have to pack a pack and play anymore.
This is true. This Airbnb has a pack and play in the closet in the master bedroom area that they're like, hey, use it if you need it. I'm like, well, my kids don't need it. My kids are all on the second floor of this place in one of the bedrooms watching I think Pokemon episodes.
Nice.
Until like 3 o'clock in the morning.
The countdown for the baby is less than a month, so just saying.
Well, get ready, buddy.
So you
bags
guys
under the eyes.
You may have
pack and play.
I don't know.
If you don't, I have one for sale.
Well, I don't know that we'll need a pack and play right away. Like you just do the bassinet stuff.
Sure.
For a while, right?
Sure.
We rocked up with a pack and play that had like a little like bassinet attachment on the top.
Yeah.
I put it right next to me while I played Xbox on the night shift.
You hold the baby in the arms while you're playing Xbox. That's what I did. That's how I beat Grand Theft Auto.
Hi, Christina. Thanks for watching.
No, they gotta sleep. They gotta sleep next to me while I'm trying to beat Gears of War 1 through 100. Oh, I saw Christina was on a staycation, and she's posting like pictures of herself double fisting while everybody went to the bathroom. So
lies.
Yeah.
She also won a gold Skyline gift card.
I saw that she won for her dad joke on Father's Day. She won a gift card from Skyline through Mo Egger.
I'm not well trained yet, so give me some time. I'll get there. All right. So where you guys want to start tonight? Because we got a lot of topics that we've discussed that we want to talk about. But where out of the things that I brought up, where we want to start?
Can we not start with the Reds?
I would rather.
I was going to say, do you want to launch right in, knock the Reds/baseball stuff out of the way.
Well, do we have an update for the kids?
What kids?
Jeff?
What?
Your Little League? Is there an update?
No, I mean we had a hard fought game over the weekend on Saturday right before we left for this trip, and we did fall 2-0. Kids had a great season. Runners up in the regular season, runners up in the tournament to the same team.
You said you said you were worried about Aroldis Chapman, so.
I'm telling you what, this kid, lefty, mullet, and has like a real life big kid wind up squished down in a 9-year-old body. Can't beat it. He was throwing gas, and our kids made contact a few times, but they do have good defenses. I guess this team's been together for like 3 years. I talked to their coach. He was a very intense individual, much like Vader Time, that guy. Woo, what I'm talking about from like Boy Meets World / also WWF back in the day. Intense like that guy. Kind of looked like Ed, but a lot more intimidating.
A lot bigger in all the ways.
No. I mean the guy, the head coach of this team that we played.
Oh, I thought you meant.
I mean, he had really. I guess the only thing he had in common with Ed was a beard that was red. Also, though, he was more intimidating. Ed looks like a cuddly teddy bear.
He is actually. He is. So,
but yeah, it was a great. I mean, they played well. We didn't get blown out. They didn't make a bunch of errors or screw anything up. They just flat got beat. And but it's the best baseball season that their school's had since like '92.
Okay.
So yeah, and we'll see what next year holds.
I can't wait for that.
Maybe we'll update on that story later.
There. That does.
Big Van Vader.
I mean, all right.
It might be, his cousin or something. I don't know.
Ed's got a lot of those.
Cousins? Oh, I do have a lot of
cousins. So I do want to talk more baseball before we steer off the topic of baseball.
Okay.
But I don't want to talk current Reds. I wanted to talk about.
Right. That's what I was getting at. Let's start there.
Good.
Roll in.
Oh, yeah. We talked about those Reds.
So I wanted to talk about what happened with the Mariners game.
Good gracious.
And Jesse Winker and Raisel Iglesias. And there was even an Eugenio Suarez who I don't think he looks good with this new hairstyle. I think he should continue to shave the sides. Whatever he's got going on right now it's big. I think it's the only way that I can describe it.
Ooh, not good. With Travis Barker.
Yep, that's not baseball.
Just saying, breaking news. He's been rushed to the hospital.
Some of us caught that on the Twitter feed before we started the show.
Some of us were.
It was breaking news. Like it just happened. You weren't working.
You weren't. Nope.
Just saying.
Give it the time.
So
live in the Blue Ridge Mountains.
Winker got himself into a I don't even know. It was more than a skirmish.
It was a lot more than a skirmish.
I
would call it.
It was a full-out fight.
Was it a full Donnybrook?
It might be. I mean, here's the thing: is like I would like him and Raisel just like let's put like a small ring maybe in the middle.
Well, so you saw why Raisel Iglesias threw the sunflower seeds, right?
Raisel was upset because he got ejected for no reason.
Correct.
So I just saw like clips of it.
It had nothing to do with Jesse Winker. Although when they got
I don't remember it.
I think Jesse Winker tried to go back onto the field, and they were like, no, it's nothing. He's like, oh, okay.
I just saw like somebody, and it might have been in one of our group Twitter DM. I don't remember. But I just saw like different clips, and like one was like Raisel,
yes,
like going nuts, and then one was him like chucking sunflower seeds, and somebody was like, "Oh, I want some sunflower seeds," and then one was like Jesse Winker giving the double birds to the crowd, and Ed said it was like that Castellini was still in like attendance or something, I guess, and so like that's why he did it. Like,
I don't remember saying that.
Pretty certain you did.
This is going to be where
Dude,
the YouTube video gets taken down. What a launch!
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's okay though. I mean, I'm all right with
It's a perfect throw.
That is a great toss of sunflower seeds.
He then went back into the booth and threw out a bunch of bubble gum.
He did do that as well.
Oh,
and then,
see, you can't like.
And then the Angels players all were picking up the bubble gum off the field,
sticking some in their pockets.
Pick up the bubble gum off the field, like.
So I guess the whole situation stems back to about a week ago, 10 days ago, something like that, to where one of the Mariners were hit in was hit in the head. Upton was hit in the head by an Angels player.
Yes.
And so the Mariners brushed back Mike Trout the night before the skirmish. I definitely don't want to use the word dust up. But yeah, it was Trout got brushed back with some chin music, and then all hell kind of broke loose the next day when the Angels went ahead and just started plunking Mariners. They even put in an opener to do it.
That was a crazy part too, right? Because you knew it was going to happen when they called up like this kid who's never started in Major League, and he's like, "Hey, you're up, bud."
So then Winker gets hit, and then of course there's a giant fight, and it was one where there's a pause, and then they fight again, which you gotta love those.
So Winker got ejected after he got plunked from the fight going on.
From the fight.
He got ejected from the fight, yes.
Did they immediately eject the Angels pitcher?
No. But he was
ejected, yes.
Part of why he was very, very upset.
Yes.
So then the fight starts. Then he gets kicked out. Wait. Then the little girl that went to see Joey Votto last year.
Hang on. Before we get, we'll get to that. We'll definitely get to that. But before Winker got hit, the batter before Winker gets hit, and so they issued warnings to both sides immediately. To which the Mariners like, what did we even do, right? So then Winker gets.
Well, I mean, that's the standard. That's the standard response whenever there's double. When there's double, like.
Yep.
Well, we didn't do anything. No, well, something happened to start this. So, that's why both sides are getting warned.
Right. Yeah. So that's when Winker gets hit, and then he's pissed, and then all hell breaks loose. He gives double birds, gets ejected, and all of that. But then, yes, the little girl crying who went to the Joey Votto game where Joey Votto was ejected last year, to which he issued an apology, said it would never happen again, although we did see a little freak out earlier last week where somebody told somebody told Joey Votto that Jesus loved him and he was not here for that.
Jesus loves you. Fuck.
Whoa, Ed.
That's what he said.
Fun.
I thought it was fun.
Per the report from John Boy, he said.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what he said. Yeah, I got the audio for that one too.
So, of course you do. Go ahead.
I don't have it right now. Go ahead.
All right. So, the little girl's crying. Joey gets ejected last year as she was going to a game over, I believe it was San Diego, where he gets ejected and she's crying. Joey sends her a baseball signed, "I'm sorry I got ejected," et cetera, et cetera. Same thing happens this year where she's there to see Suarez and Winker. She's crying again, and she gets a signed baseball from Winker. So I saw a take today by the user was at Drew Stubmuffin, and the take was basically at what point do you stop posting pictures of your daughter crying at these games and trying to get the sympathy from the team that you're going to see?
Ooh, it does feel like that, doesn't it?
That's a garbage take, because the picture was posted and then immediately there was a follow-up tweet from the same account that said, "She needs nothing. She's okay now. There doesn't need to be anything done."
I mean, do you really even need to post a picture of your kid crying though on social media? Maybe in context because you've been to 2 games over on the West Coast.
Because the first one,
or X-Reds.
Right? So the first one, like, you don't know, right, that it's going to, like, take off. Her account probably had 0 followers at the time, right? If I recall, when I clicked on it back then, like, there weren't a lot of followers. So you posted, it ends up going viral to the point, like, the Reds see it, whatever, like, Joey signs the thing. So now you've got followers, and you've got followers that are Reds-based followers.
Sure.
So then you go to yet another game. You take your kid to another game where, you know, they want to go see Winker and Suarez because they're playing, and maybe the kid was still wearing Reds gear. Like, to her, she's just going to see some of her players that she became a Reds fan, and
Not
they
the
were
Angels
Reds
hat.
at the time.
Not the Angels hat.
Did she have an Angels hat on? I thought there was some Reds gear going on.
Maybe
somewhere
I'm
in
not
there.
sure. I don't recall, but I know it was definitely an Angels hat.
Okay, so you're there, right?
Sure.
And it
You're in
happens
Anaheim.
again. Like, it happens again. It's not like she's following the Reds around, like, all the time to everywhere they're playing, and is like it's kind of it's a funny thing. It's
yeah.
Hey,
she has the
I'm
4th
here
of July
again. I'm
Angels
here
hat on.
Like, I'm here to see this player again, like a different player, but same reason. And again, they get ejected in the first inning? Again?
Yeah.
Okay. So to me, go ahead and post it. And then she says specifically, like, don't send, and they're like, no, like, Jesse wants to send something up. Like, that's a different thing. Jesse's not, they didn't say, like, she didn't tweet, like, oh my God, like, I was here to see Jesse Winker. He didn't get a play. Like, send me tickets. She just said, like, oh my God, you wouldn't guess it happened again. And then she was like, hey, my kid is okay. She's fine. Like, she understands this is what happens in baseball, like, whatever. And then they still send it. Like, that's okay. Like, don't get mad because your home team sucks, and so you want to go, like, have a shit take. Sorry.
Man, our team does suck. My favorite story to come out of all of this, though, moving topics, unless you had anything on that, Ed.
Well, I mean, I got the Joey Votto video.
There's no sound.
No audio.
Really? No
Excellent.
sound?
No.
F. All right.
Fun.
Let's go. Move on, Aaron.
What happened there?
You're the self-proclaimed best producer in the city. I don't know. You probably have to hit unmute. But the funniest story to come out of this whole episode in Anaheim, or were they in Seattle? I'm not even sure at this point.
They were in Anaheim.
That's what I thought. Was the pizza that was delivered to Jesse Winker.
Yeah. Somebody sent him a pizza in the clubhouse, right?
The tail's way out. And they were.
Yeah, we got it that time.
Solid context.
Could have given us heads up so we weren't talking over the original audio.
Well, I got it working, so.
Good job.
Yay, me.
Like I said, hit unmute. But the funniest story was the pizza that was sent to Jesse Winker and the coverage of the pizza from the delivery driver for Uber Eats or whatever delivery it was for Summer and Jean, I think was his name.
Yeah, I can't pronounce that name.
Or something along that line. Summer and Jeet. There it is. But a ton of money was made for this guy and his family because he delivered a pepperoni pizza. My favorite interaction in this whole thing was where he said, sorry, it's going to be a little late. It's really hard to find parking. It's crowded here.
The pizza has been delivered. I'm sorry for the delay. Actually, it's busy and hard to find parking.
Yeah, it's a baseball game, bro. But that whole thing was so fantastic that she just.
So who's this Sophie person? Is she
just a
random
person?
Just a fan that wanted to send Jesse Winker a pizza because he was in the clubhouse because he got ejected. So she
But
sent
is she a Mariners fan or is she an Angels fan?
Yeah, she's a Mariners fan.
She's a Mariners Jesse Winker fan.
Yeah.
But good on her. The whole situation was hysterical. Absolutely.
I want to know how much Simranjeet got Venmo and Cash App.
I want to know that answer too, because he apparently also donated some of what he was given to him to St. Jude's.
Even better.
So he had to. I mean, it went viral, so he probably had like money. Oh yeah, so 2,000 people liked his Venmo like ID. So, he probably got a little bit of money.
Pull up the picture of him and his family, Ed.
Is there a picture of him and his family?
Yeah.
Right here.
Profile picture. But just you got to be happy for the family that they ended up with a situation where you go to work that day, you're driving. I've done it for Uber and Lyft. Like, you have no idea where that day is going to take you, literally. And all of a sudden, he donated $500 to
$500 donation to St. Jude's.
That's fantastic.
What a dude.
Just a fantastic interaction where she just sent Jesse Winker a pizza. He gets hella tips and got it to his Cash App, and everything worked out well in the world for one moment in time in a week that was shit for a whole lot of reasons.
Did Jesse Winker like acknowledge that he received a pizza?
Yes.
Oh yeah, he
sent her a message somewhere in the interaction. That's not the one.
That's not the one. That's not the one.
That's Simranjeet. But yeah, he said he sent her a Twitter DM saying, "I got it," and yeah, I think that's the one. Your internet connection.
Of course, this is the one that takes forever.
So figure out the pizza. Thank you. I appreciate it a lot. So there it is. For whatever reason, C. Trent was tweeting about this because he doesn't want to.
C. Trent tweet goes away.
I don't blame him for not wanting to cover the Reds.
I mean, probably though. Like, I mean, he's probably got contact info with. He's probably got contact info with Jesse Winker, so he could find out if the pizza was good.
That was what he said. That was what he said. I want to try Mountain Mike's pizza.
There it is, right there. I've confirmed that Jesse not only did Jesse Winker get the pizza, he said that there is no. I said Winker. I'm not doing this tonight. I'm not doing this tonight. You can't over there with the crappy internet connection inside the cabin. Can't do that. You don't know what you heard.
My picture looks a lot clearer than yours.
Your picture is the only grainy one right now, Ed.
It's not grainy on my side, so that's great.
Of course it's not. It's on your camera.
It's all bad.
Your camera. Anyway.
My MacBook and AirPods setup is rocking your full computer.
Oh, it's getting grainy. Look at that. He's on a Nokia right now.
Are you playing Snake? Right now?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I have like 6 gigabytes of memory left on this hard drive, or 6 gigabytes of storage. Oh, I know. I bought a terabyte. It's upstairs. I just gotta figure out how to install it.
You are 16-bit right now, bud.
Not on my side. My side's coming out crystal clear.
Yeah, but Jeff's clear.
Ooh, it does show a low connection on my side right now. This is unstable.
Yeah, there it is. So I guess there's nothing else to cover in this particular instance of former Reds.
We can talk about new Reds that didn't used to be Reds that are Reds now.
You talking about Tommy Pham?
I am.
And the Pham shirts in San Francisco. Dude. What a troll move, right? What a troll move. And I guess there's
like the Reds. Go ahead.
There's been some reports that Tommy Pham is not liked in the clubhouse. People are trying to say that. And to me, I saw plenty of guys on the field that seemed to like Tommy Pham. And I know
there's at least 4 right here in this picture.
I know Late Night Reds tried to say that Tommy Pham shouldn't say, not even all of Late Night Reds, it was Carlos that tried to say that, you can't talk bad about the bullpen, the arms in general, whatever the case may be, whether it was true or not.
I didn't even think he was talking poorly about him.
Nah, we talked about that last week. He wasn't talking poorly about him at all.
Jeff wasn't here yet at that point in time when we did talk about that. So I did want to bring it up again, but just...
I mean, I touched on... I know we texted about it back and forth. Like,
yeah.
I get it that it's kind of like one of those things like... And obviously Carlos has like he has a different viewpoint on it,
sure,
right? And a different experience. Yeah.
He's been in...
Absolutely he has. He's been in that situation at a higher level than what we would.
I pitched in beer league softball.
Okay, not the same. So I get that anything that we would think or say about it, like he has a different perspective on. As a fan, I didn't see really anything wrong with how he came at it, and like even as like somebody like like a college athlete, like. I didn't see anything wrong with it there. He played at a much higher level.
And let's be real, but let's preface this with saying none of us are afraid to be critical of anybody wearing the Reds wishbone C.
No.
This just didn't seem to be an instance where criticism was garnered, I guess.
Yeah, I thought that he just kind of, I mean, to me, it was more of when we talked about it when it happened, I just kind of thought it was maybe more of like somebody saying like, look, they are good. They've done well. They've had some mistakes. I see the potential that they could reach. And so that's where that's where I saw it was. Yeah, somebody saying, hey, they've done well. They have had some issues.
I think he even mentioned that
they have a high ceiling. So let's not say this is it.
And I think he mentioned that they need to work on secondary pitches, which that's a fair criticism of anyone in that bullpen that is under the age of LaPierre.
I mean, I think he was even talking about like the starting pitchers, right? He even spoke about the starting pitchers, and I think that
at that point, Mally was still struggling at that point, right?
And I think we've all seen that they have the potential, they have the ability. Maybe some of them are still working to get to the maximum of that, right? Is that not like to me? I feel like what
I said Pierda. It was Piedra. Thank you, Greg.
I feel like that's something that you can do. Now, I guess, is there some unwritten rule that's not something that's said to the media and not blasted out to the public? I don't know. We haven't been there.
Piedra.
So
because I already said it wrong and then apologized for saying it wrong and then corrected it thanks to your brother.
What is Piedra?
It's Spanish. And it actually means stone.
Yeah, I don't get it. That's fine.
I mean, you've seen Major League, right? Sometimes people say words for different things. Or it just means the rock.
Ooh. The one that holds down the rotation.
If you smell.
Ooh, that was a wasted opportunity on the
It was wasted. Where'd Jeff go?
He just put in the private chat, be right back. So that's how that works.
See that.
So, I don't know. I mean, I thought that the shirts were a fantastic touch, and I thought it was hilarious that in San Francisco after the full hand slap to Jock Peterson, their very next series, against the Giants after we all know what we know about their fantasy football league. They all wore the fam, which that shirt was made specifically after the slap because it was like the Batman wham or bam or whatever the word is from the old comics and even the old Batman show where they would do pow, like the
Cincy shirts, I believe.
Probably. So I don't know. It was fun that they did that. The Reds didn't do terribly in San Francisco on that series, as they took. I know they at least took the last one. They took 2 of 3, so fair enough against a team that has a winning record. And at the end of the day, 2 of 3 on the West Coast against a team with a winning record. I guess that's really all you can ask for from this team. Because this team is struggling.
They're actually winning right now 2-0.
They are.
Top of the 6, which is surprising to me. But
agreed.
So,
who, as your brother kind of already alluded to in the chat, who do you think is traded as the trade deadline is quickly approaching?
Where did he say that in the chat?
Happy second to last La Piedra Day.
Oh, gotcha.
Everyone expects him to be traded.
I mean, I think there's going to be a couple trades. It's going to be great.
Could be the very last time that we see Luis Castillo tonight.
Yep.
It could be the very last time we see Luis Castillo in 5 days from now.
Last time we see, or coming to the last time we see Tommy Pham.
Tyler Malley. Kyle Farmer.
Nick Senzel.
Brandon Drury. Who else you got?
Bob Castellini.
No. He's
we can't trade him?
He's not going anywhere.
Oh, we're not allowed to trade him. Okay. Sorry.
No, we tried that once upon a time with the Brown family, and they held real firm. But as Chad alluded to, I want to say he brought it up on one of the nightcaps, actually. But he was saying that the Castellini ownership group only has 21%, I believe.
Yeah, it's very small.
Of the ownership, which means there is 79% that can get them out of here.
But they own the most out of all of the owners.
Okay, but the other owners own the most compared to the Castellinis.
If they can band together, yeah, absolutely.
Do you think there could be a coup, Jeff?
Of the other owners?
79% against 21%. Because we've talked about this. We talked about this just last week, that the only way that you bring fans back is to at least get rid of Phil. But if you can bandy together and get Bob and Phil out,
I mean, you got to find the thing. The thing with that is
you have to find somebody to buy them out.
If you're going to throw a coup, like, you've got to pony up the money for the other 21%.
Yep.
But to me, that says the rest of the ownership is okay with everything going on, because they're still making money, even though they're trying to say they aren't.
And the other thing is they're all minority owners, right? Like, none of them own enough to
Correct.
They don't own a majority share, correct?
So if you own very little, but
you have to get everyone on board.
But that very little is giving you a return back, and you don't have to do anything.
Or at least not shit on the fans.
Are you going to rock that boat?
Yeah. Get them out of here.
Time out. Time out, though, Aaron.
It's called a hostile takeover. I saw it on Bar Rescue.
You are, let's say you are just happy to be able to say that you help own, like, you're part owner of a major league team, right? And you own very little. Like, I don't know how it's cut up, but I know that obviously the rest of the people don't own a majority share, right? And you have to do nothing. You literally wake up in the morning and look at your portfolio, and it grows a little bit. Like you get a check in the mail. I don't know how that works. Like you get a check in the mail quarterly, maybe it says like.
I'm sure it's wire transferred.
It's probably not every 2 weeks like a normal job, but maybe quarterly you get a little check in your bank account that drops in, and it's like, Cincinnati Reds money, and you're like, oh, bet, cool, thanks, appreciate that. Are you gonna rock that boat? Like you're still making money. Maybe you don't care if the Reds are any good or not. Like maybe you didn't grow up here. I don't know who all the owners are, so like I can't speak to that. But even if you do have some like whatever, like your name's not the one getting blasted out there. Your bank account is the one that's growing.
I got
Do you
names for you.
care? Do you care?
You looked up the names, Ed?
Yeah.
What you got?
Read them off. Put them in the
article?
atmosphere here.
So this article is from April.
Do it like everybody's doing the Supreme Court right now. Read off the names of the people who are guilty of this Reds team.
W. Joseph Williams Jr.
What is he?
Who's also a former investor in the Baltimore Orioles and the St. Louis Cardinals.
Can you see what?
So that dude really doesn't care. He came with the Castellinis.
He's
works at North
a baseball
American
team
Properties. Thomas L. Williams, who I guess is part of him. Lender Baseball. Frank Coheen. He's part of the Louise Nippert Trust. Is that Nippert Stadium? Possibly.
Yes, clearly the Lindners and the Nipperts are part of this ownership group.
William
Which means that even if you don't have a large percentage, you have a large name. There's Chad, the Williams family, aka Dick Williams.
Yeah, that's what it said here. I was getting ready to read that, but I'll skip over that now. William J. Riek, who is married to ex-wife of former Reds general manager Jim Bowden.
Leather pants.
Old leather pants, yeah. Bye Bye Baseball LLC.
Bye Bye Baseball from Cincinnati.
Rick Steiner. Wasn't he one of the Steiner boys from wrestling? EMK, Larry Shakley. Wait. Shakley Insurance.
This is slowly turning into a 60 seconds of Ed AEW recap Reds ownership style.
I want to go back to Bye Bye Baseball LLC.
Yeah,
because that's that? John Sadak.
Is it BUY?
BUY.
That instead of BYE.
Yeah.
So that's gross, first and foremost. And second, did that LLC get developed before or after John Sadak was here saying bye bye baseball?
I imagine it was probably before.
Well, I think he's saying like bye bye baseball, and this is like
correct.
Bye bye baseball.
But I want to know what came first. John Sadak
chicken or the egg?
John Sadak saying that, or the LLC? Because if Sadak got that from the LLC, I'm not sure how I feel about Sadak right now.
Anyways, Larry Shakley, who's also an owner of FC Cincinnati,
get him on the show and ask him about it.
I'm very curious.
Shout out Larry Shakley. Jeff Weiler.
Shout out Larry Shakley only because he employs your brother.
Oh, he used to employ my brother.
Well, tomatoes.
Harry Fath, owner of Fath Properties. Jeffrey L. Glendale, CEO of IES Holdings. Edwin J. Riggard.
Moses.
The former Procter & Gamble executive.
Edwin J. Mayhall.
No, that's not me. HKR Baseball.
Direct your hate about the Reds towards Ed.
Can I finish this? Ronald L. Sargent. John Wyant, another P&G exec. George H. Vincent from Queen City Diamond LLC. Heading for Home LLC, and Art Hauser, a former Xavier University star, who later played the NFL and AFL. and returned home to be with his wife.
Who played in the NFL from Xavier? How does that work? Considering their football team hasn't won a game since like 1956 or something crazy.
Then he opened up an insurance company, which he sold to his son in 1996.
Must have been one of those basketball guys turned football. Like,
must have been. I can look him up.
I truly don't care at this point because Xavier. But weird. All of it is very weird. I hope that they get together and start pushing names around like Lindner, like Nippert, and get the Castellinis out of there and take the Xavier guy too.
Yeah, no, he played for Xavier football in 1950 to 1954. Yeah, that's who he played for.
So it's a bunch of 80-year-olds.
Oh, I don't think Larry Shakeley.
Sounds familiar. Let's move on.
Moving on.
What you got for us, Aaron?
I'm
Greg.
Yeah, saw Greg. We all see the comments. 2 screens, Ed.
You had no idea who that guy. I have 2 screens as well.
I'm rocking 1 screen, but I'm still seeing the comments.
So there's that.
Right. What are we moving on to?
We're moving on to. Sorry, I'm going back. There were a lot of messages here today from us.
No, but before we hit that, let me ask you guys a very. This is also a very good question here. When you're making s'mores, how do you prefer your mallow, Ed?
Roasted.
How? Like, do you just stick it in the fire for a second and pull it out?
You gotta catch that thing on fire.
It's got a tinge. It's got a little tinge of yellow to it. Is that
you gotta catch that thing on fire so that it melts when
you put it. Do you want to blow it out and have it charred all the way around?
Yeah, charred. Yeah.
Okay, Aaron.
I would like to get some fluff because I don't want to get that close to the fire. It might burn my skin.
We're not shaming anybody for their mallow levels here.
You had your time. I like to try and get it to where it's actually not hard in the middle. So it takes a little while of over the fire and spinning.
So you finessing your mallow over the fire?
Absolutely, because I want
the outside doesn't get all the way scorched, but the
correct.
inside is melty.
I want the whole thing to be an actual squishmallow. If we're going to use,
you don't want to put
catchphrase for the kids.
You don't want to put the gram on the top and squeeze when you squeeze the graham. Chocolate graham with the mallow. You don't want to hit the raw mallow.
Right. I want it to be solidly cooked all the way through to where it's gooey all the way. I don't want to bite into actual like the soft part of the marshmallow in the middle.
Like you don't want to pull a mallow out of a bag.
Correct.
You don't want that. You don't
if
want
I wanted
that.
to do that,
you want all melty mallow.
Correct.
Okay.
How are you rolling, Jeffrey?
So I will scorch a mallow. I will scorch a mallow so that the entire thing from the outside will be nice and blackened. It'll be blackened, much like I don't know, like people like fish cooked that way, I guess.
Some people like hot dogs cooked that way, or like.
But then the inside of it, I like it to be, like you said. I find that way. I'm impatient when I'm making my s'mores, so
that's the problem, right?
I would like the outside. Like it doesn't bother me that the outside is scorched, so long as the inside is then all the way melty. My wife is on the opposite end of the spectrum. She is a very quick mallow in, mallow out, onto the sandwich.
You know why that is, Jeff?
She will squish it as hard and as hard as she. 2 of my children are like that.
Keep it clean.
So going back to an earlier part of the entire night, who's making the s'mores for the kids?
Oh, they make their own.
Who started making s'mores for the kids when the kids were too young to make their own?
Oh, I did.
You made them?
Yeah.
Okay, so who's watching the kids while s'mores are being made?
Carrie.
Okay, that's why. I knew we would get there. That's why she's in and out, done and done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we were going somewhere else with that.
Nope.
I thought we were going somewhere else with that.
When I'm around the fire, if you would like me to make your s'more, I will do it. Start to finish, mallow on the stick.
Is that why you had to leave the show?
Bam. No, that was something else that was going on.
Grumpy. I gotcha.
So anyway, but if you're around my fire that I have created, if you would like me to construct your s'more from start to finish, I will do it. On the stick, bam, fire, on there, bow. Here you go. Just know it's gonna be melty mallow, which will then also melt your chocolate just enough in between a beautiful set of grams, and you'll love it. Piper will not wait for grams and chocolate. She will just stick her mallow in, eat the mallow off the stick, go over, get chocolate and a gram, and throw it in her mouth. She's good that way. She's a wild one.
I'm gonna throw this out there because this was new to me. I don't do this, but Rachel likes to use a Reese Thin for her s'mores.
You know, I've just recently heard about this using a Reese's for your chocolate.
A Reese Cup Thin.
Yeah.
Instead of the traditional Hershey. That way
so peanut butter and chocolate.
Yeah, I just heard about this.
And
marshmallow last night on TikTok. I think is where I heard about this.
Because how many of us have done the marshmallow fluff and peanut butter sandwich?
Fantastic. Fair.
And now you're throwing chocolate. Well, of course you have, Ned. Now we're throwing chocolate into the mix.
I mean, I'm here for that one. I'll give it a shot for sure.
I mean,
apparently you have to go with the thins because that allows you to melt all of the things instead of the actual full Reese cup.
Damn, that's
so then you have this other guy in here wants to bring up a cookies and cream Hershey's. That doesn't sound bad either. It doesn't sound bad. Here's where I have issue with it. You can leave a cookies and cream Hershey's in your car, won't melt all day. You put a regular Hershey in there, will melt immediately. You know, the melty level
is this true?
Way different.
You know what white
is
chocolate
this true?
Hang on. Do you know what white chocolate is made out of compared to chocolate?
Cocoa? I don't know.
Well, cocoa is what you make milk chocolate.
Why do you have all this knowledge on chocolate?
Because I went to the DR. And in the DR, if you go on any of the excursions, they will take you to places and they will teach you things. Okay. They will teach you things. And white chocolate is predominantly made out of coconut.
Oh, that makes sense why I'm not a huge fan. Like, I'll eat white chocolate on the occasion, but I'm not a huge fan of white chocolate. But I'm also not a huge fan of coconut.
But it's not like just coconut. Like it's I think it's out of the coconut milk or this is where I get lost. But it is not out of traditional chocolate that white chocolate is made out of. They call it white chocolate, but it is predominantly a byproduct of coconut.
It's also what they call Jason Williams.
Fair.
Well done.
Well played, Ed. All right. No, I mean that's I've never done the cookies and cream Hershey's. I don't think I ever will. The Reese's I will try.
I just want to say, Geoff, good to see you back in the chat. I was getting a little nervous when you were not here. I was
wondering where Geoff was too.
I was scared about his well-being, if I'm being completely honest, and just glad that Geoff is here.
You know, we had a new hire start at work today. And this week, and I was teaching the new hire class, and his name was Geoff, and I was getting kind of excited, hoping it was our Geoff. It wasn't.
It wasn't.
His last name has always been there, Ed.
I know.
Always
I know, but I didn't remember what it was, so I was like,
so the next
Greg's mad. My marshmallow fireball won't melt his stupid white chocolate.
Well,
hold on, time out. This is a great thing that has happened because I'm on my laptop. Carrie just sent me a text and said the reason that white chocolate is is harder to melt is because it's not real chocolate, therefore has no place on s'mores.
Can Carrie come down here and tell us about this?
I said as much,
No,
right?
She's actually on the other side of this wall here.
I said as much,
Carrie, come
right?
on over.
I already said as much. I said it was a byproduct of coconut.
I want to test this. Like I might buy.
I this live thing I got going on here of Carrie's input because like usually when our show's over, there's like a lot of input on my phone.
Well,
I don't ever look at it while we're.
Tell her to look up what white chocolate's made out of while we're. You're like Tim Taylor on Tool Time right now, like talking to Wilson.
Hey.
Hello, neighbor. I kind of want to test this tomorrow. I have to stop and get gas on the way in the morning. I might pick up a white chocolate cookies and cream bar and stick it in the truck all day.
It's like Office Space. Hey, Peterman, check out the chick on Channel 6.
What's tomorrow's temperatures?
Anyway,
well,
next topic I'm going to talk on the Big 12,
84.
which we have to be concerned about now. The Big 12 is looking into a new commissioner. That new commissioner that they are looking into is, I don't know why I do this to myself. Brett
Yormark.
There it is, Yormark. Sorry, I'm not super familiar with him, as I've had less than 24 or just over 24 hours to familiarize myself. That said, familiarized myself enough with him to know that he is the COO of Rock Nation. He spent 13 years in charge of the Barclays Center with the NBA, where he sealed up the ACC tournament. He sealed up the NCAA tournament games being played at the Barclays Center. Which is important because that's his tie to college sports at all. And he was also 6 years with NASCAR. And I don't know what his actual position was with NASCAR, but it was a higher up. But he's done some shit, right? So to me, the Big 12, their final four, whatever it was, candidates were not ADs. They had nothing to do with collegiate athletics at all. And
good thing.
I think that's a great thing. And I say that we did, Chad and I did talk about this on the nightcap that we recorded before this. So some of this is going to be repeat for anybody who's listened to the nightcap or is listening to us and then listens to the nightcap. But that all said, this is different perspective. So for me, like getting a guy like that, you're thinking progressively.
Well, especially coming from a place like Rock Nation, right? Who's trying to think progressively in scouting, management, all that good stuff.
Well, Rock Nation has gotten into agency.
Yeah, that's what I was meant to say. Yeah, agency.
Gotcha.
I said scouting. I don't know why I said scouting, but I did.
But also a guy who's been involved in the NBA, which is largely looked upon as the most progressive league in all of the leagues. And you're getting a guy who has had all the other conferences have guys who are in there who have been in the cycle for a very long time. So you're getting a guy who breaks that mold. You also are getting rid of Texas. You're getting rid of Oklahoma. You're bringing in 4 new schools, and you're getting a new TV deal in a couple of years. 2, 3, whatever it is. I think it is 2 or 3. I think that this is all very important as you look at this hire, because he's setting up your future. And that's a big, big deal for a team like Cincinnati that's going to be in their infancy in this particular conference, as they have, kind of paved this whole new wave for teams from the group of 5 to be a big fucking deal. So what are your thoughts as you have looked into this guy? I asked you both to read up on him. So I'll start with Ed. Only because, Jeff, I'm sure you'll have you like to be a little longer winded than Ed. So, but I want to start with Ed.
No,
You can't steal your ideas, Ed. If you go first, You're welcome.
When I saw he was from Rock Nation, it was the first thing that you said, right? Being progressive. Like, it's good that we're getting somebody out in here who's not an AD, right? We're not getting a Mike Bone, right? We're getting somebody who
he's in the Pac-12.
Right, but I'm saying an AD, right? So anyways.
Yes.
Like it's good. It's great. We need to. This is the kind of thing that different conferences. This is the kind of thing that different leagues. Like I'm saying, like just maybe get rid of that baseball commissioner and kind of look at this direction as well. This is the thing we need. We need outside perspective. I even would be okay with getting somebody like as we were talking about this, this is the first thing that popped in my head. Right, getting somebody like a Gary V. Right, making him the commissioner of a conference or something like that. Just somebody who has like different ideas, who's not stuck in that. This is the way that we did it over here. And this, when I was in the Big 12 as the AD at this school, and this is the way we should keep doing it. Getting different, fresh perspectives. Let's do it.
Here's something I want to throw your way, Ed, in particular, because you are a part of the metaverse.
I haven't been in the metaverse for a while, but yeah, go ahead.
But you are a part of the metaverse.
Oh, I'm part of the metaverse. Yeah. Slapped a dude on. I got slapped in there.
So,
do you remember that? That guy slapped me and called me a bitch. Asked me if I could fight.
I'm telling you right now, if I saw you in the metaverse, I'd probably do the same thing just for fun.
I'd drop kick you in the head.
Open hand slap.
Bam.
I mean, he doesn't. He's already said on this podcast.
Perfect.
He doesn't.
I'd chuck you over the top rope, Ed.
Ed said he has been slapped in the face and didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do when he was slapped in the face.
What did you want me to do?
You just stood there. You took it, Ed.
In real life, he did that. So why wouldn't I do that to you in the metaverse?
I ate it.
Carrie wants to know if we all coordinated our backwards snapbacks.
Well, Ed turned his around when he saw that you and I had.
That's true. I forgot about that.
I put a different hat on. I said if we were going to do it, it's backwards snaps and
just saying. Mine was a Father's Day hat, and it matches my outfit. So
does it make Carrie feel better?
This is from my brother-in-law's wedding.
This is from America,
and I love this hat.
It's from America.
I don't usually wear a snapback. I usually wear a fitted. So,
but Ed, I don't know what you're doing with your do-rag cap, but I just wanted to say, what if the Big 12, as they're negotiating new deals, was the first conference to be somehow involved in the metaverse? And I say this with
yeah.
Just saying, I don't put it out of the realm of possibility, because I think that a guy who is trying to be progressive and trying to take a conference in a different direction than anyone has ever gone before, as you try to make things available that you can't necessarily do in the NFL because of rules, in the MLB because of rules, lots of rules, more so in the MLB than anywhere, NHL, MLS, because they signed this weird deal with Apple.
Great idea, by the way.
Which somehow still pays them the same amount as they were
Horrible idea.
As they were making.
Fantastic idea, Ed.
It's just.
So now my son can't watch FC Cincinnati because now I have to get Apple TV.
That's a you problem. The only problem I have with the deal is they were making
data
as each team was already making as much money as they're making right now with Apple. That's the only issue that I have. It's more exposure potentially, but that's a whole different story for not this podcast.
Well, no, you said that Yormark has worked with the NBA. The NBA did games in the metaverse this year.
Correct.
So let's do it. I mean, UFC's doing matches in the metaverse. There's concerts in the metaverse. Yeah, why not? Let's do it. It's the new big thing, right? I mean, businesses are holding meetings in the metaverse. It really kind of seems weird to me.
The metaverse commercials are telling me that people are doing surgeries in the metaverse.
Apparently.
I don't know how that works, but that's apparently the way that people are being taught these days, instead of on cadavers.
I throw paper airplanes through loops in the metaverse.
Dude, that kind of thing, like the virtual world for like concerts is incredible. Fortnite has done it for years. I think Travis Scott has had like 15 concerts.
Nobody died in those concerts.
Oh,
dang. Wow.
Marshmello has done concerts in Fortnite. So like those are things that you can do. And I would be all for. I mean, I don't know how many games a year I would want to don my Meta, what is it, an Oculus, Meta Oculus, whatever you want to call it. Like, I don't know how many games a year I want to put that on and sit there, in my living room. But
if
it
puts you field level compared to watching it on TV,
But here's the only thing.
It's like I have field level suites without having field level suites.
Now hear me out. Like,
it charges for it.
If there was a way. Maybe if we could do a live show, let's say they're.
I've thought about that.
Let's say they're like at the Sugar Bowl, and the three of us throw on our little Meta headsets, and we can watch the game and do a show where like it kind of, you know what I mean, like that kind of thing. Like I could get on board with some crazy virtual podcast alongside of a game.
When I first got my Oculus Quest, that's the first thing I thought of was how can I do a podcast here in the metaverse? Like how can I get the audio recorded? And I'm sure I could do it.
Augmented reality, absolutely.
Yeah.
T-Win, I don't know what this is. This Hangman?
It was AR, augmented reality.
Augmented reality. That's what he's getting at.
Come on, Aaron.
Like if you're out there, I mean, think about this. If like a game went to halftime, right? A game goes to halftime. The three of us from wherever we're at are now sitting behind a desk on like in the south end zone. Like whatever. Like sweet. Or like we're right there at Nippert, and we're doing our own halftime show. And through augmented reality, it looks like
I'd still slap Ed in the face.
You know what I mean? Like
this game is terrible, Kenny.
Aaron would have to key in. Aaron would have to key in from the booth above, but
I don't know how they'd feel about me.
I don't care how they feel about it. I just came up with a great idea. Don't steal it. I don't care. I just came up with a fantastic idea. And somebody's going to steal it, and in like 10 years, it's going to be all the rage, and I'm going to be like, "You remember that time I was talking about it?"
How do we harness this technology and take it on to Shark Tank? Sell that one to Mark Wahlberg.
Augmented reality is already a thing. I'm just coming up with an idea of how to use it, which I'm sure I'm not the first one to do. So
no, you're not. I'm actually trying to figure out how to design e-learnings in the metaverse, like. We have
and turn it into some NFTs. Good idea, T-Win.
That's a good idea, T-Win. Matter of fact, I was watching the Big III this weekend.
If you're gonna put a comment up, you have to give it more than 3 seconds.
You're sorry. I'm sorry. I was watching the Big III this weekend, and they have an NFT, but it's like $4,500. But it's a pretty sweet NFT.
Chad trying to call T-Win a nerd while saying Nerf.
Yeah, words are hard, aren't they, Chad?
That's an Ed typo if I've ever seen one.
Oh, okay. So let's talk about that for 2 seconds. We did this thing where we did a song bingo at work the other day, and we did it through Teams. And you have a bingo card. They play song. It was 90s. It was 90s hits. And the other way to get extra points was if you put the name of the song in the chat first. I couldn't type fast enough. I was putting things in there like genie in a I don't know what else, but bottle. I don't know.
Bottle is the word.
Yeah, but I was putting like bobble.
Shocker.
That wasn't.
No one is surprised. I feel like you wrote bottle with 2 D's.
I knew all the songs.
But if you don't spell them right, does it count?
I'm up. Yeah, well, if I had it on my bingo card, yeah, I did.
You misspelling everything was definitely on my bingo card.
Yep, 100%.
So I don't know. I'm going back to the new hire of your mark here. I think that this is.
How do we get your mark on the show so we can give him our ideas?
Well, he's not hired yet. It's not official.
When he is on the show.
He's the leading candidate. And it sounds like it may be a thing coming very soon. But, Jeff, you haven't been able to give your full opinion here, so the floor is yours.
So, I mean, you guys touched on it a little bit. What happened?
For real?
I don't have control over it, so Ed had to have kicked me out.
I didn't do anything.
That's ridiculous. You touched on it a little bit. I think it's good to reach outside of hiring somebody university affiliated. His connection with it's Rock Entertainment, right? Is that what it's called?
Rock Nation.
Rock Nation. So it's essentially Rock Entertainment. You've got that. You've got his.
It's your boy.
He led NASCAR for a few years there. For a while, we're growing. It kind of seems like it would fall under when he was there. I didn't really get a look into like the timelines of that. I was on a hike with my family when you sent those things to me. So that was just my my initial look at it. And then with things like the NIL, being out there, what kind of better way to harness that than have somebody that is, that was in charge of like the Barclays Center, is in charge of, the Rock Group, Rock Nation, I guess is what it is. Like you want to call it other things, but Rock Nation. I mean, they've got their own sports management company there. I think LaMelo Ball, Saquon Barkley are part of that. Obviously, it's not something that's like UC centric, right? It's not like he's coming on to like UC as the AD. He's coming to run the Big 12. But that to me seems like it's a pretty big name and a pretty I don't know, forward thinking to grab somebody like that and push forward. I mean, we obviously have talked about some of the crazy things that could happen with it. I don't know. I don't think it's a bad idea. I wish that things like the committee that selects who goes, to your top four of football teams at the end of the year were not university affiliated. I think that's where we run into some issues with that. Obviously now this guy
expansion needs to be a thing, and
right,
he's progressive enough to be leaning that way, because it didn't sound like I don't recall.
He was named to the top 40 under 40 3 times for sports business. You can only be named to that list 3 times. You can't be named there anymore.
4 times then.
3 times, Ed.
You said 4 times earlier, but that's fine.
If I go back and I hear myself say 4 times, then
you said top 40 under 40. Then maybe that's what you're hearing 4. But
yeah, I said 3 times. He was there 3 times. And you can only be named there 3 times for sports business. So I think he's probably got we look at it. NASCAR, pretty darn big, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Barclays Center, pretty darn big, pretty serious place. Mm-hmm. And now Rock Nation.
Well, and I brought this up when I talked to Chad. He has no affiliation really to the region that the Big 12 has a footprint. So getting somebody from completely the outside of the Big 12 is good, because it puts Cincinnati entering a conference to where they're not vying for a foothold with a guy who has preconceived, like, or maybe he does, maybe he doesn't, who knows? But you'd like to think that he doesn't have like these pre-existing relationships.
Well, let's see where he went to college.
That's a great question. One that I hadn't even considered. But if you've
I
been
had
on
his wiki page pulled up a minute ago.
if you've been in New York, Brooklyn for 13 years, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, where was he whenever he was overseeing NASCAR?
That's a great question. It's traditionally a Southern thing for all the reasons.
He went to Indiana.
Okay. So it's still not really within the Big 12 footprint.
His LinkedIn profile doesn't
No,
show.
but you know where that footprint puts him? That's pretty damn close to Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's from New Jersey originally, so
just
He
I don't know.
Born and raised in New Jersey. He's 55. Completed his college and graduated from Indiana University.
Ed, where's NASCAR headquarters?
Is that in Charlotte, North Carolina, maybe?
It's in Charlotte.
Which would still be outside of all of the
close by where I'm at.
So
NASCAR kid.
I don't know. That's just where I'm at with
Daytona Beach, Florida is where NASCAR. So
still outside the footprint.
Yeah.
Closest thing there is UCF, but what are you going to Orlando for at that point in time? Not to see the Golden Knights.
No.
Question: has he worked with the Golden Knights ever?
No.
Okay. I didn't know if that's.
I
didn't know if that's what made them so great.
No, he hasn't worked in collegiate sports.
Just making sure. I mean,
the only thing he did with collegiate sports, like I said, was the ACC tournament and getting NCAA tournament games there.
No, it's fine
at the Barclays Center.
He seems like a fantastic candidate. I just want to make sure that's not because of the Golden Knights. Okay, I'm just making sure.
Zero collegiate experience.
We owe the Golden Knights a lot. I just want to make sure we didn't have to thank them for this.
You probably do. But I don't know. I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm excited to see where new leadership takes the conference. As I don't know. It just seems if we weren't already excited enough, having Bowlesby out as Texas and Oklahoma leave and getting some new progressive ideas in, it just seems to me that I don't know. It just seems to me that there's some things that can kind of happen that will be different than the Pac-12, than the ACC, than the Big Ten, than the SEC. There's a lot of the good old boys clubs in charge in a lot of those places. Guys that have been there for a long, long time. And I think that we have an opportunity to see a conference do some different things that have never been done. Especially having a commissioner who's not been involved in a lot of stuff for his entire career, but has accomplished a lot of stuff everywhere that he has been. So it should be a lot of fun to see. Outside of that, unless you have anything else to add here, Ed.
Nope. No, I'm excited about it. It's good stuff.
Well, while we're still on college stuff, TBT and the NIL and all of that, we did catch word today from the Nasty Natty. Hopefully, we will be bringing some of them on to the show. We will see how those conversations progress.
You're excited for this TBT thing.
I will be here in Athens, unfortunately.
Because you're supposed to have baby that weekend, right?
Yeah. I mean, the 25th.
It's on a Monday.
25th is the scheduled date. Unless things go awry prior to.
It's on a Monday, the 16th, right? For our first game?
Don't ask me. Because I will not be able to be in attendance. I have no idea. I see things as they come across my timeline.
I'm pretty sure it is.
When's the NIL game?
The NIL game is the Saturday before that. So no, that can't be right.
You are
I'll find
a dearth of information right now.
I'll find it. Don't worry.
Hi, Jeff. Welcome back.
Daughter came downstairs. Couldn't find her.
Wanted a s'more?
She was upstairs in the room that they're staying in. She disappeared from upstairs in that room. The boys are in another area. Carrie went to check on her upstairs. She wasn't there.
Wasn't like those nights where she just creeps into the room and she's in the corner.
Well, it's just different because obviously we're not anywhere near home, so
Right.
She doesn't really know the layout of the house. No, she was just out. She was out in the living room of this place, in the main. So the main part of this place was built in the 1930s. It was like a one-room cabin kind of thing, and then they added on to it. It's really this is one of the craziest places I've ever been.
So multiple people have died there.
Probably. So she's out there on the she was out on the couch in the living room area with her feet kicked up and her iPad, and she just thought it was a great. So when I found her, she's like, "Grapes? Can I have some grapes? I'm kind of hungry." And I was like, "I mean, it's late, but if you want grapes, you can have grapes." It's a vacation life, She just does whatever she wants to do, and she's hungry at what is it, 11, 10, 10:30, 11?
Can't wait.
10:30. So she's hungry at 10:30. She wants grapes.
Can't wait.
Hey, get used to it. I got 3 of them running around.
I did this myself. So will I.
I handed the boys a GoPro and let them go to town in the pool. They were jumping, filming each other, jumping in, doing spins and flips and landing in the water and then going underwater. They're like, "It's so awesome, Dad." I was like, have at it, buddy.
Ed, anything?
Yeah, the TBT is on the 18th, so that means the NIL deal's on the 16th. Because it's that Saturday, I believe.
What do we move on to here? Sorry.
TBT.
And how talks are progressing to where we may have some on the show. We'll see.
I heard that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's 2 weeks between now and then, right?
Yeah.
So we'll figure something out.
I heard Ed might be throwing the ball up for tip-off, ceremonial tip-off.
That's what I heard too. I heard they wanted the best producer in Cincinnati.
Can't picture that. I wasn't available.
Okay. How about this? How about if we when we win the first round, it's a possibility that we play the About Billions team.
I want Xavier,
coached by Steve Logan. Logan versus Corey Blunt.
I want Xavier.
Oh, I want Xavier too. Especially since Jaron will be playing in that game. I don't think he's playing the NIL deal game. Justin Jennifer's playing for About Billions. That'd be kind of cool too.
Greg, your team is nothing compared to the team that this team has put together.
What did they name? What did they name their team?
Zip them up.
Okay. 24/7. Rent free.
Beat into the ground.
24/7 rent free.
It's a dead horse, for the love of God. Move on.
I did see an article today that says former Uber driver playing in TBT tournament. They can't even mention that Stainbrook played for Xavier. They're just going to mention former Uber driver plays in TBT tournament.
Hey, let's not knock that, because Des Ritter is a former.
I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying
we've all seen the commercials, right?
He's a former basketball player.
We've all seen the commercials where he was a. Help me out here. Which delivery? There's no delivery service.
DoorDash.
Thank you.
DoorDash.
Nothing out here, but. Gregory Joseph, Xavier. Anyway, moving on.
We punches a Mark Lyons throw.
Where's Ed? I need you and Gregory Joseph to be next to each other in the metaverse. Just
Greg wants to come on the show so bad.
I'm sure he does, because he's mad that Bill got to come on the show on our second episode, mind you, and he didn't.
Went back and listened.
How many episodes ago was that, Ed? Do you have that recorded in your head? How long ago was that?
I have a record of that.
Somewhere?
Clearly handy.
Fair. That was a solid.
Well, I didn't know I was going to need that record tonight.
Yep.
All right,
Let's
like
move
this
on.
early.
Be ready.
We're moving on.
Moving on. So the last topic I want to talk about is the Bengals.
131 episodes ago.
Bam. Way to go.
Still waiting.
131 episodes ago.
Still waiting. Gregory
For
Joseph.
what? Oh.
Not you. Gregory Joseph is still waiting for that. He's waiting for that call. Never coming. Because we cover actual Cincinnati sports. Actual city of Cincinnati sports.
Well, guys, my phone's going to blow up for the rest of the night.
You're welcome. Make you
Bill
feel
has
good.
nothing.
You're popular. So the Bengals.
About him.
So we saw the tweet exchange from Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. I think it was Twitter, right? Was it Twitter? Where Jamar Chase said something about people being fast. And Joe Burrow thought he was fast. Joe Burrow says he's sneaky fast. Thinks he's in the 20-mile-an-hour club. He's been recorded, supposedly, in this offseason at hitting 20 miles an hour. Joe Burrow. Is Joe Burrow sneaky fast? Do you think he's actually hitting 20 miles an hour? Do you think
if he's saying it, like,
I don't think he's one to be out here just bullshitting, right? Like, because people are measuring him clearly.
it's weird. Like 20 miles an hour.
Now find the Joe Burrow retweet where he says sneaky fast.
Hey, I mean, I'm here for it. Like, I think he had some flashes of quickness. I don't
20
know.
on a reconstructed knee, he's hitting 20.
Maybe now he is.
I mean, people who have Tommy John have been known to hit 97,
little
100.
quicker with the arm, a little quicker.
Just saying.
Maybe he is. Like, I don't think Ed's hitting 20 miles an hour.
I'm not hitting 20 miles an hour, so
I'm certainly not hitting 20 miles an hour, but I'm also not like
you don't have to shit on Ed.
A franchise. I'm not trying to shit on Ed. Ed's not talking, so I was trying to get him.
Told you, Ed. I got you.
You asked me to find a tweet. So you asked me to do some work,
Ed,
and I'm doing that.
I'm defending you. He just said Ed's
I was talking to Jeff.
I'm just saying.
I asked you.
One might say sneaky fast. Ed, do you think he's sneaky fast?
Probably. I mean, I raced Parker in the front yard last week, and he only beat me by a foot.
So would you say that your boy's sneaky fast?
I would say I'm sneaky fast.
This is where I'm going, Aaron. This is what I'm trying to say. I tried to get out in front of it. Ed is not hitting 20 miles an hour. He's losing to Parker in the front yard and calling himself sneaky fast.
That was actually a great comeback.
It's not. I mean, like, we weren't doing a 40-yard dash. I mean, it's not like I had a chance to get steam. I mean,
What
it's
was
like that was. I share the Twitter page again. Joey B.
Oh, okay. All right. I mean, that's fair. No, I mean, maybe this turns into a race with a giraffe or a cheetah.
So, Chad,
remember when Chad Johnson raced a cheetah?
Giraffe?
Oh no, he raced a horse.
He raced a horse, not a giraffe.
Who raced a giraffe? Somebody raced a giraffe. And
know.
Billy Bates raced a cheetah from center field.
I feel like Tyreek Hill should have raced a cheetah. Otherwise, you can't call yourself cheetah, right?
And cheetahs are quick.
I mean, 0 to 60 real quick.
A zebra raced a giraffe.
By the way,
okay.
rocking this shirt down here.
That shirt's so comfortable.
Oh, it's amazing. So wearing it today, we did a trail, a little hike I was talking about. And several folks were like, Cincinnati? Like, no, I just found this shirt to wear. Yes, I'm from Cincinnati, or at least rooting for Cincinnati. Then I saw a guy wearing a Browns hat. And he's like, yo, Cincinnati Bearcats, let's go. And I was
they got 2 Bearcats.
I said, yo, Browns hat, what's that all about? And he was like,
Jerome Ford.
He's like, let me explain.
And Hudson?
No, he said, let me explain. I'm from Cleveland, went to UC. So I'm a Browns fan, but I went to UC. So, and I said, all right, that's fair. That's fair. You got connection to both. He was a very nice guy, and he realizes that the Browns are right now the laughing stock of the world. So it's all that matters.
2 of their 53, or however many you're allowed to have in the offseason, I guess, because it's higher than 53. But two of their kids are Bearcats. Jerome Ford.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, he was a very nice guy. He, much better to deal with than talking to a Xavier fan. I can tell you that right now.
Fair enough.
And he agreed. Xavier fans worse than Cleveland Browns fans, and I just
worse.
There was no way I couldn't even come up with an argument to say no. As a Browns fan, you suck more. Nope, couldn't. So.
What's worse though, a Xavier fan or a Steelers fan? Because they both are.
A Xavier fan. Xavier fan's always worse.
That's fair.
So one of the other things that came up on Twitter this week is Joe Burrow an injury-prone quarterback.
Burrow. That's weird. Like, why would we consider it? He had one injury and then came back.
Why did you come in like Scooby-Doo just now?
That was strange.
Burrow.
But I'm letting Ed rock with this one.
Yeah, I mean it's weird because he had one injury. He didn't even sit. He didn't.
You can't. There's nothing you can really do to. It's kind of like Eifert's first injury, where there's nothing that you.
And then he came back and led his team to the Super Bowl, and probably got hit more than any other quarterback in the league that whole season.
He did.
And all of a sudden, he's injury prone. Do your research.
Here's what's crazy. What's even more crazy?
On a reconstructed knee, Ed.
Right. Exactly.
Is Ed just hit all of the most important points there in one fell swoop.
That was about as concise as you could be.
That was the direction I was going to go. So Ed stole all my material.
You guys never give me credit.
No.
He's also young. Like he's not in his 30s and just had reconstructive knee surgery. He's not even in his late 20s. He's in his mid 20s. So the bounce back from something like that, and if he's hitting 20 miles an hour,
look out.
I'd say sneaky fast.
Which takes me to Chad Brendel's take on 700. No, he wasn't on 700. He was filling in for Mo, so it would have been on 1530. On 1530 a.m., Chad Brendel said today that Joe Burrow, his hot take of the summer, Joe Burrow is next season's MVP.
I don't know.
Ed, look up the odds for MVP right now. But Jeff, while Ed's doing that, how hot of a take do you think that is? Because I feel like you might not think that's such a hot take.
I don't think it's a hot take. But I just don't he's a quarterback coming off getting his knee rebuilt. Right?
So before Ed
just rehashed it before Ed does anything else here.
I don't want him. I just don't want him to say who's in front yet. I don't want him to interject with any of that because I want to hear before you finish whatever it is that you're going to say.
The lowest number has the best odds, right?
Yes. I also want to hear who you have ahead in your estimation.
Who I have, like myself?
Yeah, give me your top 10.
I want to hear who you think is ahead of him and why you don't think it's a hot take.
I think there's probably 4 guys ahead of him, maybe. And they're all quarterbacks. It's always going to be quarterbacks. Maybe 5 guys. Maybe somebody would throw another crazy guy out there.
So who you got?
But I'm saying that he's probably staring down the barrel of Patrick Mahomes.
Sure.
Maybe Aaron Rodgers.
Go on.
I think that even though I don't think he's probably there anymore, Tom Brady.
I would agree. I'll give you a clue.
Herbert probably.
I would agree, but that wasn't the one I was going to give you. There it is in the chat. That was the one I was going to give you.
Josh Allen. Okay, I could see that. And then the only other one I could see, like, somebody, and I don't agree with this at all. So when I say this name, don't be like, oh, you're stupid. The only person I think that somebody that the NFL world could maybe put out there,
Vegas. You're talking Vegas. Yeah, it's not even the NFL world. It's Vegas.
Is Lamar, if he comes back and has like some crazy season. That's the only thing. It's like if he comes back and like is able to lead, and I don't think he can. But people, and I'm not those people. Some people could think.
I have a guess.
If he comes back and does that and wins the AFC North and goes to the Super Bowl, that like it could be him. But
I have a guess it's not him.
Those are mine.
I have a guess it's not him, but it's
who's that?
A guy who's throwing to Aaron Rodgers' old receiver. Vegas, baby. Vegas.
Carr.
Their
Carr? Derek Carr?
He can't even. There's no way that dude's even in the top.
Oh, you're wrong. You're wrong. Derek Carr's
15.
not in front of Burrow.
Is he in the top 15?
Good.
Derek Carr?
Yeah. I mean, is Lamar Jackson even in the top 15? Like, I threw out a crazy one as well.
Actually, Derek Carr is 15.
Okay, so where is Lamar Jackson?
Not crazy.
Lamar Jackson is 13.
All right, so who you got, Ed?
All right, so we're starting from the top.
Ooh,
plus 700.
We miss Russ. Somebody's going to try and believe in Russ in Denver. He does have some really good receiver options because they built up the whole offense.
Russ is in the top 10.
Russ is in the top 10.
So number 1, plus 700, Josh Allen.
Oh.
Number 2, plus 800, Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Number 3, plus 900, Aaron Rodgers. Tied with a plus 900 is Tom Brady. Justin Herbert with plus.
Who's Tom Brady tied with?
Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, so they're one and the same.
Justin Herbert with plus 1,100. That's what, 5?
So
5.
What is that? So Allen, Mahomes, Brady, Rodgers.
Joe
Herbert.
Burrow comes in 6 with plus 1,300.
Okay.
Hey,
hot take.
Hey, you guys remember when my hot take, not that long ago, was he was a top 5 quarterback?
I do. I remember because we went through the whole of the NFL.
I got shit on by Chad Brendel for that.
You did. And it turns out Aaron Smith knows what he's talking about.
He made it to the Super Bowl. And now he's number 6.
So is it really a hot take? I mean, maybe for some people, like maybe the hot take is cut off at 5. maybe after that it's a hot take.
Not for me.
I just think that was.
You have Deshaun Watson ahead of Derek Carr.
Oops.
At plus 2,500.
Is this a list of people who might play next season, or just?
I don't even want to get into.
They have Deshaun Watson ahead of Jamar Chase.
Well, I mean, I guess if he plays, I mean, look, a quarterback is always going to get the look there first. So,
sure.
like,
yeah,
if you've got a guy that comes in and takes somewhere like the Browns and turns them around, like, yeah, there's probably going to be some decent betting odds there. But the majority of the betting odds, I'm looking at the top 10 as anybody that can come in and potentially win it. So I don't think anybody in the top 10 is necessarily a hot take. That's all. I mean, that's just me. I think it's a solid take. I think it's a pretty probably you could get after it with that one, but I don't know.
All right. Anything else you guys got for this week? Ed, did you watch any wrestling?
I didn't know.
Do you have anything to say about the way that this transfer of ownership or whatever
That's wild, ain't it?
It's weird.
It's weird. It's going over to Stephanie McMahon, but then all of a sudden last week,
who's also disassociated herself from the WWE.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar is back.
Didn't John Cena come back too?
John Cena is coming back too. He also has done more Make the Wish wishes than anybody ever. Make a wish. Then also, I don't know if you heard, Triple H walked back into the training facility and said he's back.
I thought he couldn't compete.
He's taking the company by storm.
I thought he was going to take the company when Vince stepped down.
You talked about a hostile takeover. You think that Triple H taking the WWE wouldn't be a hostile takeover? 100%.
But I thought he medically couldn't compete anymore.
I thought he couldn't either. Yeah.
I thought that was real life serious.
He put his boots down inside the ring during WrestleMania.
Going to take it over.
I know, but I thought he couldn't, for real.
He's going to die in the ring and take it over.
I also saw, and I didn't read too much into it, so this might be me causing rumors. But I also saw on some Wrestling Insider Facebook pages that apparently a former female referee also accused Vince McMahon of this many years ago.
Whatever's whatever, man. I mean, the whole
thing's a mess. It's all very strange.
Yep.
Those are the Blue Ridge Mountains back there.
Blue Ridge Mountains.
So that was another episode of Pardon the Punctuation. Ed has not done his AEW minute for
weeks,
two,
months.
3.
It's been almost a
because
year
I did WWF last week. That's not fair. That's not fair.
They haven't been WWF in over a decade.
Count.
Over a decade.
I'm sorry, WWE.
Yep.
Get it right or pay the price. But
yeah, brother.
I did have Parker watching or not Parker, Bryce watching old Hulk Hogan videos.
Can't even get his kid's name straight.
Yeah, he can't. Well, he got beat by him in the front yard, so I don't even know if he's allowed to address him without saying Mr.
Disowned him. Name. Disowned him. Mr. Parker to you.
Yeah, Mr. Parker M. You know?
You guys are the absolute worst.
You're right. You hitched your wagon.
We are the best. Number one.
But
number
that
two.
was another episode of Pardon the Punctuation. We thank you for spending your evening with us.
What number 2s?
Your time with us, wherever you are listening to us. We do appreciate it. Get it out of here, man. I'm trying to look at myself. But join us back here.
That's a banana teabagging on my head, Ed. Get rid of it.
Next week, Tuesday, 9:15 p.m. We'll see you. Hopefully, we have some special guests next week. We'll see what happens with TBT. Till then, see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
See ya.